The unsettled grave of Elizabeth Barnhart. Elizabeth Barnhart's story begins far from the banks of the Ohio River. Her parents, John Parker and Agness Harrison, were born in England. Like many immigrants of the 19th century, they crossed the Atlantic in search of a better life, bringing with them the accents, traditions, and hard-earned grit of the old country. They settled in Salineville, Ohio, a small coal town whose steep hills and narrow streets were crowded with miners' cottages and the smoke of industry. It was there, on November 23, 1883, that Elizabeth was born, the first American-born daughter of English parents. Growing up in Salineville would not have been easy. The village was defined by coal seams, clay works, and the unyielding rhythm of labor. Children were expected to help with chores from an early age, and the English-born Parkers would have kept their customs close, old recipes, songs, and the memory of a homeland across the sea. For Elizabeth, that meant she lived between two worlds, raised in America, but shaped by the voices of England that filled her household. In time, Elizabeth met Charles Barnhart. Their courtship led to marriage, and eventually the couple left Salineville behind for East Liverpool, the booming pottery capital of the world. They made their home in the hills of East Liverpool at 1020 Dresden Avenue, where the neighborhood was tight-knit, but still just far enough away from the activity of the downtown area. The air filled with the scent of kilns and the echoes of trains. Life there was steady if modest. There was full of families who worked long hours but built strong communities, and Elizabeth was part of that fabric. But in 1924, tragedy began to unfold. Elizabeth fell gravely ill that October. On October 11, 1924, her doctor first noted her condition. Syphilitic infection had reached her central nervous system. In the weeks that followed, the disease ravaged her body. The records list its cruel march: insanity, paralysis, and finally death. Each day she slipped further, unable to speak clearly, unable to control her movements, until finally, on November 19, 1924, at just 40 years old, Elizabeth Barnhart died in her home on Dresden Avenue. Her burial was arranged by Miller, an East Liverpool undertaker, and on November 21, 1924, she was laid to rest in Spring Hill Cemetery, Wellsville. The official record is plain: daughter of English immigrants, wife of Charles Barnhart, dead too soon. But the story does not end there. In the creek that runs along Dresden, children once found a tombstone bearing her name, though it was carved with errors. The stone read Elizabeth Barnhart, born November 25th, but the year unclear, 1880-something, died November 22nd, 1924. The spelling was wrong, the dates did not match, but the name was close enough to stir unease. Why was such a stone abandoned in the water, so near the place where Elizabeth had lived and died? No record explains it. That mystery gave birth to the legend. Neighbors whispered that Elizabeth's spirit lingered, unsettled by the false stone and the broken facts of her life. They told of strange glimmers in the creek bed, of voices on the water that seemed to call the name Chaz into the fog. The official records say her body lies in Wellsville, yet Dresden Avenue clings to her memory still. And so the ghost of Elizabeth Barnhart walks in both worlds, between the facts written on paper and the stories carried by the creek, where her name will never be fully at rest.